Hey guys, if you're a regular to this channel and you've been here for a long time, you'll know that I've got an interest in Familicide, family murder. Starting with the Watts case, done a lot on that, very well known case, but it's unfortunate that other family murders don't get the same attention that the Watts case did. The recent trial of Anthony Tote, who killed his wife, 3 children, and his little dog, didn't get a tenth of the attention that the Watts case has. Well, there's a new case that I've just come across, and this is in Alabama, and this is a guy who killed his wife, 2 teenage daughters, and then himself. A significant proportion of familicides do result in the perpetrator taking their own life afterwards. Mental instability and financial issues tend to figure high on the list of why someone just breaks that final straw and they do the worst possible thing that they can ever do. An Alabama man who killed his wife and 2 teen daughters before turning a gun on himself in front of police left a lengthy note prior to taking his own life. Authorities are not releasing the contents of that letter, but Riverside Mayor Rusty Jessup says the note reportedly hinted at mental instability and financial issues, though he had not known that prior to Sunday's horrific acts. This has just happened this Sunday just gone. Everyone is just scratching their heads, Jessup said. It's mind-blowing. And indeed, in many of these cases, family, loved ones had no idea that anything bad was going on. In other cases, they suspect there may be mental problems, a mental health concern, but nothing that would ever lead anyone to believe that that person could go on to commit such an atrocity. The ordeal began to unfold Sunday morning when authorities say 54-year-old William Huntoon, known as Billy, Vance called his friend, former Riverside Police Chief Rick Oliver, and told him he had just done something terrible and was going to hurt himself. He asked him to come over. Oliver called Riverside Police and they headed over to the Vance home on Depot Street. When Oliver arrived, Billy Vance was sitting on the front porch with the gun in his hand, Jessup said. Rick couldn't talk him away from the gun or get him to put it down. When Riverside officer Jake Riley arrived, Oliver told Billy Vance he was going into the house to check on the kids. He said, "Well, you can check on them, but they're gone." Oliver was inside the home when Billy Vance killed himself, which was witnessed by Riley. In a flash of an eye, he put the gun to his head, Jessup said. A search of the home turned Billy Vance's wife, 51-year-old Florence Diane Vance, called Flo, and their daughters, Samantha, 16, and Cara, 13. All 3 were found in separate rooms and had been shot to death. The entire family was pronounced dead at the scene just before 10 a.m. Riverside is a community of several thousand in St. Clair County. Jessup said everyone knew and loved the Vance family. This is so out of character, he said. That's what they all say, so out of character. Something just makes them break. Fascinating and horrific at the same time. Both Billy and Flo were both deaf. Flo formerly worked at the Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind and worked as a vocational evaluator at Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services. Jessup said when he first ran for public office in 2004, the Vances were one of the first families that let him put up a campaign sign in their yard. I knew them for a long time, he said. The couple moved to Riverside in the late 1990s. They often attended city functions and were involved in their daughters' schools. Just like Watts, just like Tote. The mayor described Samantha and Cara as beautiful and well-loved. Samantha placed 3rd in the state for archery and was described as bubbly and outgoing. Cara had just finished the 7th grade last week and was the quiet one, he said. They were great. They were just what you want kids to be, Jessup said. They had parents who loved each other. They were raised good. They were good students. Flo was originally from New York and attended the Rochester Institute of Technology. Jessup said her family is en route to Alabama. It's just devastating, devastating. There has been an outpouring of support on social media from those who knew her, calling her the sweetest woman you would ever meet. My heart is heavy this evening as today we in the deaf HH interpreting community have lost not just a precious colleague and dear sweet soul, but with her, her entire family. Florence Vance was always so friendly and encouraging. Her friend, Robin Woolford Pass, posted on social media. One didn't have to know her well to appreciate her professional ethic. She had a smile for everyone and was loving and dedicated mother to her teenage daughters. The post continued. The loss cuts to the very core. Mental health is not to be ignored. We must destigmatise getting therapy. Counselling shouldn't be a taboo subject. And yes, sometimes the chemistry in brains need medicines to balance it. We live in a broken world. The most honourable thing to do is ask and accept help. We all need help sometimes. May Flo and her family rest in peace, and may the events of this morning never be repeated. Sadly, these things just keep happening. We live in a world where mental health it's considered a lesser priority for many people than physical health is. And it breaks a person. You know, just yesterday there was the Texas shooting at Robb Elementary School, where an 18-year-old young man, Salvador Ramos, for whatever reason, you know, he was a local in that community. For whatever reason, he shot his grandmother and then he went on a rampage. And as of recording this video, there's 19 children and 2 teachers that are dead, many more that are injured. And Salvador lost his own life in a police shootout. It's just horrific. I'll bet my bottom dollar that that young man was suffering from deep psychological disturbance. Too early to tell what exactly was going on. But with things like shootings and familicides that are so out of character, we have to dig deep to understand the mental disturbance. And if you see something, if you're concerned about someone, say something, speak to them, get a feel for what they might possibly be going through. All too often people don't want to talk, and if that's the case, it's not your fault. As a society, I think we need to have a much deeper and broader understanding of mental ill health. You know, there's so many things in the world. We've had the pandemic, we've got financial problems, many people are losing livelihoods all throughout the world. And familicides, shootings, just out of character, the most extreme things that people can do. They're a signpost that society needs to work harder. Jessup said he spoke to Billy Vance just last week. People often use part of their property to picnic or just hang out, and often let litter behind. Billy was trying to monitor that, he said. He brought a brand new trash can and left a note saying if they would put their trash in the can, he would make sure it got picked up. That's just the kind of guy he was. He just did that out of the goodness of his heart. Jessup says they may never know why Billy Vance decided to end his family's lives. We're just at a loss, he said. Horrible. If you're feeling despondent, if you're feeling that your life is not worth living, this too shall pass. Please, 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 please seek some support and help. It is out there. I want to end this video by saying happy first Gotcha Day to Cassie. 1 year ago today, she joined our family. And a happy 15th birthday to my old timer, Jack, who's at home doing what he loves best, sleeping. I've been Michelle, hope you're well. See you in the next video. Goodbye from her. Tilly's already had a walk, she's at home. It's been very wet overnight, so yeah, you've had a voiceover for this video. Okay, bye guys.